All right, so triangle RST is vertices located at 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 0. Find the length of each side of the triangle. Show your work. All right, so for part A, you've got to find the distance from R to C. Now, I guess we should use the distance formula since it's probably more appropriate than drawing the triangles. Something like this. So it's 1 squared plus 2 squared, that becomes the square root of 5, like that.
Okay, so then that'd be per side RS.
Or RS, I don't know why I said RC. Yes, RS. And then
Yeah,
you go S to T. You just go, and I'm just going in the order given. I'm not even drawing it. And this is the same thing here. You go square root of 0 minus 4 squared plus 5 minus 4 squared equals, so that's 4 squared plus 1 squared, square root of 17, like that. So why don't you try to find the last one for us, the distance from T to R.
use higher cost here. But there's higher cost of 0 minus 2. Minus 0 minus 3. And the square root of 18.
So it is the square root of 18. Good. Okay. Yeah, it's the square root of 0 minus 3 squared, or if you flip the order, that's fine. 5 minus 2 squared. Now this one does reduce, and that is part of this course and for most students. Maybe you've seen that before. Let me know if I need to clarify that or not. Is that okay? Or not? Or do you want some explanation?
A little bit of explanation.
Okay, yeah, so this is called reducing roots. So you start with the first prime number, which is 2. 18 divided by 2 is 9, or 2 times 9 is 18. And you try the prime numbers, which are 2, 3, 5, 7, and so on, until you get the ones you need. So 9 is not divisible by 2, so you move to the next prime number, which is 3. 3 times 3, and now you look for pairs. Okay, you look for pairs. So there's a pair of 3s. So when you have a pair, you can bring one out. You can bring a 3 out, but the 2, there's nothing to pair it with. It stays in. So your answer has a part that goes out, square root of what's in. The 3 comes out, the 2 stays in.
Got it.
Now there's like a whole unit we can do on this, but For right now, that's probably sufficient. Now we can say something about the um, we can say something about this because all the sides are different. They're all different lengths. We know that it's scalene. So I know we're not up to part C, but we can say it's scalene. But we need to say a bit more than that.
Got it. So
All right, so here's where we're at. We now need to do part B, which is to find the slopes. And we want to do it in the same order that we just did. So I'm gonna grab this right here. So we're up to part B now. So for part B, we want to find the slope from R to S. Okay, so that's 4 minus 3 over 4 minus 2, which is 1/2. Then we want to find the slope from S to T. 0 minus 4, 5 minus 4, minus 4 over 1 is minus 4. And then I'd like you to find the slope from T to R. T to R, please.
either R, B, C, so like 0, 3, 5. Second. Three, minus 2 would be 3, -1.
Okay, that does sound correct. 3 minus 0 over 2 minus 5 is 3 over -3, which is -1. Okay, now from
Also,
your knowledge, go ahead.
does it matter if I put 0 minus 3 and 5 minus 2?
It does not. It does not. It's either way is good.
All right.
All right, so the thing that you're looking for here is these right angle slopes. Because the only possibility for the triangle that's left is it could be a right triangle. So the only way to know if it's a right triangle is if any of these are opposite reciprocal. So are any of these three slopes opposite reciprocal?
No.
Or do any of them multiply to -1? No. So this is just a scalene triangle. So we've done part A. We've done part B. Part C is that it's a scalene. You want to say that no sides are congruent.
For parts.
And then you also want to say that none of the slopes are perpendicular.
This part C, the triangle is scalene because no side congruent. The sides are congruent, none of the slopes are congruent. are perpendicular. Alright, so I just put for part, see, the triangle is scaling because none of the sides are congruent and none of the slopes are congruent or perpendicular.
So big thing is to say scalene. And then, we want to first say that it's because no sides are congruent. That's for sure scalene, but it could be right scalene. And right scalene means it's a right triangle, but that's not the case here. So none of the slopes are perpendicular. I mean, so you can maybe even say it's not a right triangle.
Okay. And, right, right. So let me one second, let me put in there. Okay. Mm, one. We all right. Got number 2 in here. All right, number 2 is in the chat now.
Look. It's a triangle ABC has been rotated 90 degrees to create triangle DEF. Write the equation and slope intercept form of the sides of triangle ABC that is perpendicular to EF. Okay. So I think, let me just read this one more time. So triangle ABC has been rotated 90 degrees to create triangle DEF. Write the equation slope intercept form of the side of the triangle ABC that's perpendicular to EF. So the one that's perpendicular to EF is, I mean, this is where the perpendicular comes in. Is that okay?
Okay, yeah.
So it looks like we want to write the equation through points C and B. Like that, through C and then B.
Got it.
Okay, now to do that, I mean, there's a number of ways to do this. I think we should just be very consistent with standard practice. So let's write the points for C. So C has points 1, 2, and B has points 4, 5, like that. So we want to first determine the slope between those two. So could you do that for us, please?
Slope between the two,
Yes.
5 minus 3/0. Actually, sorry. I miswrote it. Okay. Sorry, yeah. 4 minus 1. Right. 1 second. Okay, so C is 1,2. B 4,5. Right, there we go. And 3/3. So 1. The slope is 1.
The slope is 1. 5 minus 2 over 4 minus 1. 3/3 is equal 1. We can also see that from the picture, the rise over the run there. All right, now the equation in slope intercept form means y equals mx plus b. We know now that the slope is 1. Y equals 1x plus b, like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so to find b, you have to use an x and a
Yeah,
y.
you have
So
to
we
use the
use
point from the. Yeah, so if you use 1, 2, it would be 2 equals 1 times 1 plus b. 2 1 equals b. So I got 1 for b.
okay. So b is equal to 1, and that goes back into this line right here, and there is your final equation. Y equals
So it
1x plus
makes
1.
y equals 1x, 1 is the b. I mean the m
Yes. So
plus.
we should do a tiny bit more, but let me know when you get all that down. We need to do a tiny bit more on this.
All right, yeah, I got it down.
Okay, fantastic. So the next thing is we want to show that it's perpendicular to EF here. Okay, so we should write the points for E and F. E is 5, -4, and F is 2, -1, and you should find the slope between them.
F is 2 -1 times -4. 2 -5 over 3. That would be I got -5/3, which actually it's negative over negative, so it becomes positive.
right? Well, no, so it's -1 minus a -4. And then it's 2 minus 5.
Yeah.
So the top one becomes 3, the bottom is -3.
Oh,
Okay, so double check your arithmetic there. Um,
yeah, I got that now.
okay, great.
So then that equals -1.
Okay. So the slope is -1. Now, the reason we did all that is that we were trying to show that they're perpendicular. The slope of CB is 1. The slope of EF is -1. Those are definitely perpendicular.
Uh, but don't we like you already know that perpendicular. So
And you might maybe want to say a statement just saying that the slope of of BC is 1 and the slope of EF is -1, and these are perpendicular. We're just being overly like helpful.
got it. All right, I got that down.
Okay. I mean, that's kind of it. Um,
Right. All right, and then 53 is another check.
okay, there it is. All right, a point M on a segment with endpoints XY partition segment in a 5:1 ratio. You must show all work to receive credit. All right, so we talked about the X values. We have to find the distance between them. It's 10 minus 1 or 9. Okay, so that like you want to start kind of like we're going to organize everything for X that we're doing here.
Got it.
Now, a 5:1 ratio means it's, if we draw a little picture here, 5/6 and 1/6. So that means we want 5/6 of 9, or 5/6 times 9.
Times 9/1. Finish multiplying by 9.
So yeah, this is 45/6. They're both divisible by 3. That's 15/2. That's 7.5. Okay. Now, what you do with that is you add it. So you take 1 plus 7.5, and that becomes your new x.
Fine. All right, yeah, I got
Now we have to do the same thing for y.
so 3
So,
and -2.
yeah, so it's 3 minus a -2, which is 5. And now we want 5/6 of 5, which is 25/6. Fortunately, that one doesn't really work out nicely, but it is
What do you divide to get a decimal?
yeah, so we'll just leave it like that. Now you add it to your old y value. So your starting y value is -2. So you take -2 and you add it 25 plus 6 to it. So you always take like kind of the starting point, and then you add to it the distance. So this ends up being -12/6 plus 25/6, which becomes 13/6.
Uh,
So there's your new ordered pairs. It's 8.5.
what do you convert it to a decimal form though? 13 over
I don't know. I mean, they're I don't, I'm not sure because they're both.
Yes, so if it's
I guess
13 over,
I would probably, if you were asking me, but I'm not grading it, I would rather see them both as fractions than one to be a decimal, because it doesn't
yeah, because
repeat.
13 divided by 6 is 2.16666666666,
Yeah.
something like that. But all right, let me just put both in here. All right, that's the new y. All right, I got it down. Alright, okay, I got, no, no, that's our new coordinate. Here, let me go back to the question.
I don't have anything in the chat. Or are you still getting this down?
Okay, so I was looking back at the question.
Oh, okay, so the new coordinate is here. I mean, this is the new one. You need a new X and a new Y. Oh, that's M. So we want to actually probably label that as M.
Pair. So M equals that the coordinate pair 17, 2, 13 over 6. All right. Let me put the next one in the chat. All right, the next one's in the chat.
Okay. All right, find the area of the following shape. You must show all work to receive credit. So a lot of ways to do this. It kind of depends on how you want to cut this thing up. Um, there's a lot of ways. I mean, one of the ways though that I see is this, where there's 1, 2, and 3 regions. And I think you do need to show that. You need to show all three regions.
Yes, let me get some. Okay, 1 second.
Sure.
I'm gonna graph this figure. Um, All right, now let me just show the recipient. Alright. Alright,
All right, you ready or you need a little more time? Let's go. Give me some.
I'm ready.
Okay, so one is a triangle. And you might want to redraw it and then label the base and the height. So the base is 2 and the height is 2. And the area of this triangle is base times height divided by 2. So 2 times 2 divided by 2, which is 2.
But
That's like number one. You're kind of building a table here of how you want to present your answers.
alright, I got that. I'm going to, yep, so.
All
That's
right, so
for number,
let's go to number two. Number two is a rectangle. It's got a base of 3 and a height of 2. I'm just
yeah,
counting squares. I'm not doing anything complicated there. The area is 2 times 3, which is 6.
here. There's 9 times 3, 6. Alright,
And then last one here, you got a triangle. So your base is
base is
4, height is 2. The area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2. 4 times 2 divided by 2 is 4.
8, 2. Yes. Wait, isn't it half base times
So,
height?
or base times height divided by 2.
Okay.
They're both the same.
How many substitute for 4 times 2 divided by 2, 8 times 4. Got it. Alright, I got that.
Right. And then you add them all up. You add the 2, the 6, and the 4. The total area is the 2 plus the 6 plus the 4, which is 12 units
Alright,
squared.
so the total area. So we're just adding up all the areas that we found from 2, 3. So 2 plus 6 plus 4, 12 units squared. Got it. Okay. Got it.
Okay.
Alright, so there's this one I like to go over before we pair it up. Alright, so I would like to check this equation, this problem, number 4 on part 1. So this is a different, this is the multiple choice test. I put it into the chat.
Parallel and joint are working together to determine a quadrilateral has perpendicular sides. All right, so let's see here. C. So just a quick sketch of this is it's like C to D, C, D, E to F. And even if this isn't the right like drawing, it helps you to figure out which is perpendicular. So C to D has to be perpendicular to D to E because of
Yeah,
the way the letters are ordered. It always follows a path. So C to D is parallel. It has to be perpendicular to D to E, which means that Carla, who's doing C to D, D to E, is on the right track. Jonah, who's doing C, D, and E, F, well, that's not going to be helpful. So it's definitely Carla. All right. So
got
the difference though is between these two is opposite versus consecutive. What I've shown here in this drawing are consecutive sides. Consecutive sides. So you'll want to change your answer to that one there.
it. All right, I'm pretty sure this one, right? Let me check it with you as well. I'm gonna put it in the chat, right? It's in the chat now. Should be there. Yep. Number 6 is another one that I wanted to check.
Okay. All right, write an equation of a line perpendicular to AB in slope intercept form that passes through the point 7, 6. Okay, so the first thing is probably to find the slope from B to A. So you're going down 4, right 2, so it's got a slope of -2. Or you can think of it as -2/1. The reciprocal here is the flip
Oh, I thought
and
you
then
had
the
to use
negate.
the opposite reciprocal of the
It is,
slope.
it is, it is. It's opposite and reciprocal. But first you flip it, then negate it. So yeah, it's either A or B. Okay. So the way to proceed from here is to, if it's multiple choice, you could basically just try the points. Is 6 equal to 0.5 times 7 plus 2.5? Or is 6 equal to 0.5 times 7 minus 2.5? And you'll find that it is in fact the first one.
Got it. All right. That I wanted to go over the chat now.
Okay. All right, so Grace has a segment with endpoints 3, 4, 11, 3 divided by point E such that B and E form a 3:5 ratio. She has distance between the X coordinates is 8 units. Which of the following fractions will let her find the X coordinate for point E? Okay, so yeah, they're saying that it's 3/5. Sorry, it's 3/8 is the distance, the ratio for the fraction. And you end up multiplying. So I think that's all that they want. Yeah, I think that's it. I get this 3/8.
Got it.
Let's see, I do, I have a little hesitation on that, but
All right. So this is another one that I want you to check. It's in the chat. And figure quickly go over that. That would probably be the last one. And for this session, so it's in the chat now.
All right, yeah, we're basically out of time, so you may or may not get this. Just following is the equation for WZ. That's creating parallel XY. So we got to draw a picture here again, W, X, Y, Z. W, X, Y, and Z. And XY is the one at the top as this equation. So the WZ is parallel to it. So we're looking for the one that's parallel. So parallel has the same slope. So it's it's one of the first two. And then you'll want to put that point in. This is X1 and Y1. So we got X minus a minus 6, Y minus a minus 1. So it looks like it would actually be that one there.
Got it. Yeah, thanks. I was kind of still confused. I was kind of confused on how to do for that, but I think that kind of cleared up.
I would always draw the thing that it's in question there.
So I kind of visualize it.
Exactly.
Got it.